class of data warehousing. Today our topic is ETL, extract, transform and load. In the previous classes of data warehouse, we have discussed about the component of data warehouse and the architecture we can use for building data warehouse. In those discussion, ETL come many times and we have discussed about it also. We know that in the data staging component of the component of data warehouse, we need to perform this ETL procedure. So this is basically part of the data staging component. And when we are discussing about data warehouse architecture, then we have discussed that whenever in the bottom tier, the data warehouse server is there. So whenever the data come in the data warehouse server from the various data sources, we need to use ETL tools for formatting that data or process that data. So basically in this video, we are going to discuss about those ETL procedures and what are the features of the ETL procedures. Okay, so let us start. So firstly, we are going to discuss what is ETL. The mechanism of extracting information from source systems and bringing it into the data warehouse is commonly called ETL. So, the mechanism of extracting information from the source system. What is the source system? The source systems are data from various sources. But data means it doesn't, everything is required for that data warehouse. So what is the required portion, the relevant portion for the data warehouse? That is the information. The information we need to extract those information from all those data. So basically, the mechanism of extracting information from source systems and bringing it into the data warehouse. So it is not only the extracting of the information, it is also bringing it to the data warehouse. That means it should be loaded, it should be stored in the data warehouse. So that is basically ETL, which stands for extraction, transformation and loading. Okay. So this is basically the ETL procedure. Here you can see ETL from these are the data sources, various data sources from which the extraction procedure is performed. And obviously we are going to extract the presumably important data, the data which is important for that particular data warehouse. Only those informations are going to be extracted, and it is extracted and it is coming in the staging area, not in the data warehouse. You can see all the extracted information is from the data sources, various data sources. You can see here we have different data sources, and they are not dependent, they are independent to each other. So all the data sources are extracted from these different data sources, and all that information that is relevant to that particular data warehouse for which we are performing all these tasks, that is going to be extracted and it is coming to the staging area. Now on that staging area, we have performed what? Transform and load. That means the data is staged there. The data is staged there. How it will stage, we are going to discuss in the next later slides. But the data is transformed into a presentable format. into a predefined format or a executable format. That means a format on which we can work, the data warehouse can work. So the data is transformed into a particular usable format, understandable format for the data warehouse. And then it is loaded in the data warehouse. Obviously, the important data only going to be loaded. All the unimportant data are going to be discarded. Okay. So, from the staging area, now the data come to the data warehouse. So from the staging area, now the data come to the data warehouse, and then we are going to transform that data to the front end tools. We have discussed in the previous class that about the architecture, and in the architecture we have a frontier. So the data is actually transforming to the user. It may be transformed to the OLAP server. So basically it is transformed, and then some analytics can be done on that. Okay, but ETL is actually work from the data source to the data warehouse. In this periphery, the data is extracted from the data source. It is transformed and transformed in a well documented manner, and then it is going to be loaded in the data warehouse. Okay. So now we are going to discuss how ETL works. So again, the same extract, transform, and load. So these are the steps for ETL. Okay, extract, transform, and load. These are the steps for ETL. Okay. So firstly, we are going to discuss about data extraction, which is the first step, extract. So extraction. So what is it? Extraction is the operation of extracting information from a source system for further use in a data warehouse environment. So extraction is the operation of extracting information from a source system for further use in a data warehouse environment. That means the data is going to be extracted. So this is the first stage. This is the first stage of ETL process and most time consuming task. Okay, so the extraction procedure is often one of the most time consuming tasks in the ETL. So the source systems might be complicated. So why it is time consuming? Because from where the data is extracted, the system may be that the system from where the data is extracted, it may be a complicated system. Maybe it is very poorly documented. Okay, documentation done in a very poor fashion because it is come from various sources and we have no control on that. How it is going to be documented, we have no control on that, and thus determining which data needs to be extracted, it can be difficult. That means we need to find the useful information, the relevant information, and finding that it takes time. Okay, and data has to be extracted several times in a periodic manner. It is not for one time. It is a time-to-time procedure. Maybe it is extracted now. Maybe after some time, the data source again updated. So obviously those updated information also should be in my data warehouse. So again we need to update. So a periodical extraction procedure is going to be happen. It is not a one-time procedure. So the data has to be extracted several times in a periodic manner to supply all changed data to the warehouse and keep it up to date. It should be done in a periodic manner. Okay. So after transformation, After extraction, we have transformation. This is the second step. So what is transformation? Transformation is the core of the reconciliation phase. It converts record from its operational source format into a particular data warehouse format. If we implement a three-layer architecture, these phase outputs are reconciled data layer. So basically, in the transformation portion, the data is going to be converted into a well-documented manner. Whatever format maintained by the source, we are going to change those operational source format into a specific data warehouse format. So after completion of this step, now data is ready for loading. So transformation is a very, very important thing. Okay. In extraction portion, actually we are going to select and only extract those data which is important for us. But after that, that data come in a shape into the transformation part. Okay. So these are the following points that must be rectified in this phase. Loose text may hide valuable information. For example, XYZ Private Limited does not explicitly show that this is a limited partnership company. So maybe that valuable information may be hide. So transformation needs to take care about this. Different formats can be used for individual data. It may be possible that one data is come in as a string, it is going to store as a string, another data is going to store as integers. So different data formats can be there, and for different data we can have different format. So different format can be used for individual data. So it also should be taken care. So the main transformation processes are aimed at populating the reconciled data layer. This is basically those processes. So conversion and normalization that operate on both storage formats and unit of measure to make data uniform. This is the first thing. We have to make data uniform. If for a particular data, we are maintaining it as a text, it should maintain as text. It should maintain in a particular format only. That format is actually maintained for the total data warehouse. That format should be maintained for the total data warehouse. So it is going to convert those data into a uniform format. Matching that associates equivalent fields in different sources. Maybe same data coming from different sources. So we need to match that and associate that also. It is no need to store one data twice, one information twice. So obviously the distinct information should be loaded. So we need to take care about that also. Duplicate information should not be stored. It is only the wastage of effort and wastage of storage. So we need to store only unique information. Those are relevant. So selection that reduces the number of source fields and records. So obviously, if we need to take care that how can we cover the total information from a limited number of resources, because whenever we are including many number of resources, we need to extract data from all those resources, and every resource are going to maintain a different format. So again, we need to change those format into the unified format. So this is a daunting job. So if we can reconcile and if we can reduce the number of source field, then obviously it should be advantageous. It should be a smart work. So we need to take care about the selection. About the selection by which we can reduces the number of source fields and records. So we need to take care about that. So after transformation, now the data is ready for loaded in the data warehouse. So the loading. Now in this portion, we are going to load the data into data warehouse. So what is it? The loading is the process of writing the data into the target database. During the load state, it is necessary to ensure that the load is performed correctly and with as little resources as possible. Okay. So by the load process, actually are going to write the data in the target database. That means in the data warehouse, the data is going to be loaded. In the data warehouse server, the data is going to be loaded. So obviously we need to ensure that it should done correctly. Because once a data is inserted or loaded in the data warehouse, it is a non-volatile kind of thing. So we need to take care that only the correct data should be loaded. And whenever it is done, it should include little resources. Okay. So if we can include little resources, obviously it will minimize the overhead and it will increase the performance. So we should take care about the minimization of the resources from which the data is going to be loaded. When the data is loaded, minimum resources should be involved. Now, this loading can be carried in two ways: refresh and update. Refresh means whenever we are going to write data or load data initially. So refresh is basically about the new data writing in the data warehouse. So it is done initially, refresh. And update means whenever any changes come on the data sources, we need to make a periodical updation. So the data is going to be updated, but we need to take care that whenever a data is updated, maybe the old data is also going to store in my data warehouse. So a new version of data is going to be created whenever we perform this update operation. So refresh is the initial one, update is done periodically. Refresh is the initial one, update is done periodically. So whenever a new data come or a new data warehouse is going to be loaded with data, then initially we are performing this refresh. And when the periodical updation is required, then we are going to perform this update. So it is going to create a new version of data. So this is the total ETL process you can see. So firstly, this is the operational or external data from which the data extraction is done. With that, cleansing, validation and filtering is also done. And now after that, the data transformation is performed. And now the reconciled data is going to be loaded in the data warehouse. So by this figure, again we can describe the total ETL procedure. Now selection of ETL tool. It is a very much important thing because various ETL software is available in the market. You need to choose the best ETL software for your business. So these are some points that you should take in care when you are going to choose the ETL tools. Those are integration, the user interface, obviously, and then the connectivity and integration with multiple systems, data flow management, data transformation, data profiling, data cleaning, metadata management support. So these are all required. So we need to take care about that. We need to take care how the job scheduling is performed by the software, how the dashboard and reporting is user friendly or not, if it is very much if convenient or not. Inbuilt data connectors are also very important, and real time and batch processing, how it will work, it is also very important. So we need to take care of all these issues whenever we are going to choose an ETL software. Not only these issues, there are many other issues also. Depending on the organizational or business need, we need to choose a effective ETL software for the data warehouse. Now we are going to discuss about ETL versus ELT. ETL means extraction, transformation, then loading. So firstly the data is extracted, then it is transformed in the format, specified format, and then the reconciled data is going to be loaded. But ELT means extraction, then it is loaded in the data warehouse, and then we are going to transform it. Okay, so let us check. So firstly we will going to discuss the context of process. So data is transformed for ETL. Data is transformed to the ETL server and moved back to DB. That means database. High network bandwidth required because the data is transformed, and after that, after performance transformation, the reconciled data is again going to store in the database. It is not going to load it at that time. So it is going to move back to the database. So a high network bandwidth is required. Now if you are talking about ELT, data remains in the DB except for cross database load because it is already loaded in the DB. Okay, and then the transformation is done. So it is obviously loaded there. But so it's not required high network bandwidth. Now the transformation. Transformation are performed in ETL server. Obviously, because after that the loading is done. But in this case, transformations are performed in the target. Because after loading, transformation is done. Code uses. Typically used for source to target transform. Typically used for source to target transfer. Code. Coding is done for source to target transfer only. Computer intensive transformation. Compute intensive transformation. Small amount of data. But in this case, code is uses for high amount of data because here after transformation, it is going to the target. But here, before transformation, the data is not reconciled at that time. So obviously we have a high amount of data. So the data is transformed for a high amount of data. So ETL, now next is time maintenance. For ETL, it needs high maintenance, as you need to select data to load and transfer. Obviously, no, it's needed a high maintenance because the data is selected for load and transfer. We need to select the data for load and transfer. But in ELT, the data is always available because it is only extracted. It is only extracted. It is not loaded or transferred. So obviously, it is always available. Low maintenance as data. Now, if you are talking about calculations, override existing column or need to append the data set and push to the target platform. So we need to calculate those. We need to override existing column if it is changed. Maybe some new columns are come, so we need to append the data set if the new thing is come, and then again it push to target platform. But for ELT, it is easily add the calculated column to the existing table. Okay, because everything is done after loading. So you can see this is basically ETL, extract, transform, then load. But here it is extract, then it is directly going to be loaded to the data warehouse, and then in data warehouse only all the transform operation is done. But for ETL, it is extracted and loaded in the staging service or servers, not loaded in the data warehouse servers. So the data is now in the staging areas, and in the staging areas all the transformation is done, and after that the data is loaded. So that is basically the basic difference between ETL and ELT, and we have already discussed in terms of process, transformation, code uses, time maintenance and calculations, how ETL and ELT works, how they are different with each other. So in this class, we have discussed about ETL. That's a very much important thing for data warehouse. The data is extracted from the data sources, and then it is transformed into a unified format, and then it is loaded in the data warehouse. So without ETL, data warehouse cannot be built. So ETL is a very important topic for data warehouse. How the extraction done, how the transformation done, and how the loading done is very much important. What are the things that is involved in? There are many ETL software is available in the market. Many tools are available. You need to choose among those tools, and you need to use those tools for build a data warehouse. In the previous classes, many times we have discussed about ETL. Many times this extraction, transform, and load come in our discussion. But in this class, in this lecture, we have covered this ETL process in a, this is our main topic actually. So we have covered it, and now we know how the data is extracted and what are the things we need to consider when the data is extracted, and then how many transformations features can be applied on the data, what are the important features there should be, and how it will perform, and then we are performing know how it is loaded, how it can be refreshed, if it is refreshed or if it is updation, whatever is required we need to do that. So In this class, we have discussed about the ETL process. I think now you have a brief idea what is this ETL procedure, that is extraction, transformation, and loading. And then we have converted. There is a slight modification with ETL, that is ELT. Okay, that means ETL is for extraction, transformation, and loading, but ELT means extraction, loading, and transformation. So we need to compare these two techniques. We have compared it in terms of process, transformation, code uses, time maintenance, and calculations. So this is all about today's class. Hopefully you have understood. So in the next class, again we are going to discuss about the various schema design we have in data warehouse. Up to then, thank you.